Hi guys, I'm back, and as you can see, I'm still in my laundry room. You didn't think I was gonna leave you with just this morning's tip about the washer and not give you info on the dryer. All right, so we're back and we're about to get started with putting the laundry in the dryer. Now you saw the tip on the video, the description, and if you didn't see my first video, which I talked about the washing machine and what I do to keep the keep the laundry smelling fresh for even days and weeks after you've washed your laundry, go back and check my other video on that. This one is now the dryer time. Now, you didn't think I was going to let y'all get away with leaving that laundry in the washing machine, because remember, I told you for fresh smelling laundry that lasts all day and even all week and even longer, you're going to have to take that laundry out of the washing machine and don't leave it in there past 24 hours, okay? So, I'm going to grab this laundry and put it in the dryer. Okay? We're going to put this laundry in the dryer because we don't want it smelling. Okay. Hey, Dion and Rome. All right, so I'm going to turn this camera around so you can see, all right? Now look at all this moisture that's on the washing machine. You see all that moisture? That's water, of course, because this is a washing machine. It's a laundry machine. And the reason why you don't want to keep the clothes in here for days and days at a time is because all this moisture, when it sits there with no air getting in, it gets this nasty smell because the clothes are not able to breathe. Yes, clothes need air to breathe. I know you might say that's ridiculous, but when you have all this moisture and no air getting in, and when you reach in, you feel there's no air. There's like almost a heat there. The clothes will end up smelling musty and end up really getting like a moldy type smell on them. And then take a look at this. It's a little gross, but you see the hair that's here? That's coming from, like, if you, with me as a girl, I clean the floor sometime. I have a towel on there. I have hair, down there on the floor. So what you need to do is we need to clean that out. You don't want to leave that in your washing machine. Listen, you want to check your washing machine because you don't want to leave that nastiness in your washing machine, because even though it's a small amount in its hair and you're like, Regina, that's not really too much. It's really nothing. It's a lot because it could damage the washing machine. So what I like to do is I like to leave in my laundry room little packs of baby wipes. You see this? Little packs of baby wipes, or you can just use regular tissue or something, but we're going to clean that out. Okay, and the reason why we're going to clean that out is because if you don't clean it out, it can end up backing up, getting heavier and heavier and more dirt and hair and all that nastiness in there. And it could clog your washing machine. And when you talk about having a laundry guy or having an appliance guy come out and try and fix your stuff, you don't want that. So just pull out your little baby wipe. All right, we're going to do some work. Yes, we're going to do some work. We're going to clean that out, okay? And a lot of people, they don't like to do this on their laundry machines, but, I like to because I don't like the mess in mine. So I'm going to clean this out. It goes, and if you look, this flexes. So it's plastic, so don't feel like you can't get in there. But look, see that right there? Clean that out. Get in there. Clean that out. You don't want that staying in there because it could get trapped in the machine, and you don't want that to happen. So clean it out, all right, so it's nice, all right? Make sure that's all clean. All right, that's better. Now, we're going to take these clothes out, and we're going to put them in the dryer. But, wait, not so fast. Before you put them in the dryer, there's things you have to do. Remember I told you earlier about the dryer sheets, right? Yes. Remember our dryer sheets? Well, here they are. We're going to use our dryer sheets in our dryer and we're going to pop them in there. But before we put these in the dryer, before you put your clothes in this, you've got to take care of the dryer. Now remember, you may have had a load of clothes in there before. You want to make sure you check what's called the dryer vent. Okay, this is very important to maintain a good dryer and have your dryer last a long time. A lot of people don't clean this dryer vent, and their dryer ends up not drying as much, or it goes through a lot of wear and tear, and it breaks down the dryer a lot of times. Or sometimes you'll say, well, I put the clothes in the dryer and I turned it on, and they've been in there for 2 hours and they still haven't dried. Why? Well, there's a couple of reasons why. One of them could be your hose in the back of your dryer could be clogged, but that's very rare that will happen. And then you don't have to check the hose in the back too often, but you do have to check this inside dryer vent. That's in every dryer, okay? And maybe in different locations, but when you get your dryer or using somebody else's dryer, ask them where's your dryer vent so that you can clean this out. So I've already taken the clothes out of the dryer. All right, see here, I've already taken the clothes out of the dryer. And my dryer vent is right here. All right. Now, if you can see, it says right here, clean before each use. Okay. They try and put it bold enough there so you can see it. Clean before each use. Now, this gets very clogged. This one is a very simple one. You just pull it up. Look at this. Oh my gosh. All of that gets collected with each load. Yes, that's a lot. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean this out. And you may not be able to get every single little bit out, but there's little tips and stuff that I'll show you. Look at this. Oh, yes, that comes from the laundry. Look at this. Look at this. All right, so what you do, you're just going to simply scrape this off like this. I just use it together, scrape it all off. I know it may look nasty and gross, but you don't want your dryer getting messed up. And this is what the dryer does. It collects this dust and all this stuff like this, takes it off your clothes and puts it in this little basket. Okay? And it does this so that it does not go through the holes of the dryer and clog it there. So we're going to clean this all up. Okay? I'm going to trash that. Get all this on the top up here. All right? Take all that out. Clean all that up. Now, I also have a brush that I use with my dryer vents also. I don't have it in here right now because I took it out and I wanted to clean it because, I'm cleaning everything. So I didn't put it back in here. But we'll show you that when I get on the next video. But normally what I will do with my other brush is I would clean these vents. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just take the head of this broom. And I'm going to just, dust this like this. And I'm dusting it right on the floor, which I'll just clean the floor. I could have put a trash bin underneath it, but I'm going to sweep the floor anyway, okay? So I'm dusting this off. And the reason why I'm dusting this off is because I don't want my vents in my dryer vent getting so consumed with dust that it's hard for even that to help the flow of the clothes getting dry. So I'm just going to dust this all off like this. And like I said, normally I have like a little brush that I use. It's like a little hair brush that I use. But today we're improvising, all right? And it's okay to improvise. Okay, and again, the reason why you want to make sure that this is clean is so that airflow can get through when that dust gets in there and it can come out, okay? So we're going to sweep all this up here because you don't want to just put it on the floor and leave it there now. This is a cleaning video. We want to clean. All right. Now, once we get that, we're also going to show you what to do next as far as keeping your dryer fresh and so clean. But let me get this up. Let's get this all up off the floor and then go to the next part. All right. Okay. Now let's put that there for a minute. And let's get ready, all right? So we've got our dryer vent all cleaned out now. We're ready to put that back in there. So we're going to just put this right back. But before we do that, let's do this part too. We're going to clean out this other part. And I know some of you are like, Regina, you're being excessive. That's way too much. But look at all that mess in there. Look at that. That's disgusting. Your dryer looks like this. So what we're going to do is get those same baby wipes and get in there and clean it. All right? This is how you make your appliances last long, by cleaning this out. You know, a lot of people don't do this. A lot of people just leave it and they wonder why their appliances are not lasting long. They wonder why, you know, hey, I just had to get another washing machine. I just got one not too long ago. And they're not understanding, but the reason is because these little steps that I'm doing here with my simple baby wipes can help you have your washing and dryer last a longer period, okay? A longer period of time. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and transfer these clothes into the dryer, but before I do that, we're going to put this vent back, put that right back in there, because that's ready to go. And we're going to toss in our dryer sheets. All right. Now, remember I told you don't want to use just one of these sheets because, look, they're very thin. They smell so good. Oh, this is going to help your clothes. Oh, I just do this all day. There's so many other things that you can use these dryer vents for also. I'm going to be bringing up some tips about that as well. But I remember I said don't just use one. I usually use 3 in my dryer. Hey, Pastor Lorenzo. And he says, and that can cause it to catch on fire as well. Oh, yeah, the dryer vents. Yeah, very important tip. Yeah, your dryer, you know, if you don't take care of your dryer may not take care of you. So, take care of your dryer. Dion says, hey, godmother. Love you. Dion actually runs my podcast for the Juice Radio and Talk Show. So, if you're looking for someone to do your podcast, you want to get with them. His company is Noye Podcast Production. Dion, if you're still watching, go ahead and drop your Noye Podcast Production link in there and info so they'll have that. Listen, I'm too busy to try and upload podcasts, download and stream and all that stuff. I'm doing all this stuff. So all I do is I just talk, have a conversation on a recorder, send it to Dion, and him and Noye Podcast Production does all that other work for me. I'm too busy trying to show y'all these tips. So y'all go over there to Noye Podcast Production. All right, so take these these bits, oh my goodness, I'm losing my communication because of the podcast. These dryer sheets. Y'all take these dryer sheets and just throw them in there, all right? Now, you notice I put them in there before I put the clothes in there. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer my clothes over. Now, I'm going to show you a tip for that as well, okay? Here's a tip for putting the clothes in the dryer so that they'll dry at a good consistency. You ever get some clothes when you take them out the dryer and you're like, some of these are wet. They're still wet. You ever get that happen? Well, that happens to me on some occasions. And I'm going to tell you what I had to do. I had to learn this I had to learn this too. It's called shake your clothes out, which is real simple. Shake your clothes out. So we have a bunch of clothes and you see when you take them out the dryer, they're all like balled up like this. Some of y'all might be like, Regina, this is too much work to do for laundry. But it's necessary if you want good laundry. So just shake them so that they're not all caught up in there together. You don't have to be thorough with every single piece. You see some of these, I'm going to go ahead and throw them in there. But you want to give the clothes a good little shake so that if anything is caught up in them or balled up together in them, they'll come right out, okay? They won't be so clustered together, okay? All right, so we're going to throw all these in there. Shaking some of them all out. Getting in here, getting all these out this washing machine. And especially those of you who have these metal washing machines, aluminum or whatever they want to call them, you want to make sure that you use these fabric softeners and fragrances, because these metal washing machines, they could end up having like a metal odor smell. And you really don't want to have that odor smell on your clothes. So taking care of these type of washing machines is very important. You see this metal inside, or whatever material that's called. It could really smell really bad if you don't take really good care of it. All right, so I got all the clothes in the dryer. See, everything's in the dryer. We're going to go ahead and close it up. Now, let's go to selecting what we're going to put it on. I'm going to press power. Remember, I'm using Samsung. This is my dryer here. Matches the washing machine. And this has so many different things on here. Look at all this stuff. Normal bedding. If you use, when I do my sheets and my bedding, of course I put it on bedding. It has these settings because the machine is very smart. It knows what is inside it as long as you're telling it what's inside it. Hey, look at me in the thing there. Hi. All right. So again, when COVID was happening, I put everything on sanitize because I wanted to make sure that my husband, myself, that we were safe. So everything I washed back then was on sanitize. But remember, like I told you in the first video with the washing machine, that some of these settings can really run your electric up a little bit, because look at the time. There's times on here. So the longer that this thing is on, as long as this thing is on, it's burning your electric bill. And some of you might say, well, it's not that much. Well, it's not that much if you're not paying the bill. But if you're trying to watch every little coin that you can, then you want to pay attention to stuff like this too, okay? So I don't have delicates in there. Delicates are your light things. Like some ladies, we like to wash our underwear or our negligee and stuff like that on delicates because we don't want it stressed and messed up and so forth. We may put that on delicate. Bedding, we're not doing bedding right now. This is a normal wash. If you just say, hey, I don't know what it is, but it seems normal to me, go ahead and put it on normal. That's going to run you about, according to this machine, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Now, if you got heavy soil, you're going to go ahead and put it on over here on the heavy soil. If you want a quick dry, of course, you're going to do that. And each time you turn this, know that, see, your times are changing on there. Okay? So it has different times on there that is changing. This is just a normal load, so I'm going to just stick to normal. That's going to run me my regular hour and 15 minutes. Now I have all these other nice little gadgets over here that I could use. If it's a mixed load, depending on which type the machine is like, I got bedding in there, I got laundry in there, I got all kind of stuff in there. I don't know what to put on. You can press this button, mixed load. If you want wrinkle-free, some of you who say, listen, I want less wrinkles when I take my clothes out of the dryer, it has a wrinkle-free button. If this is a small load, you put it on small load, anti-static, all kind of stuff. So I normally don't even bother with any of those because I don't normally leave my clothes in the dryer too long. All right, now here's my dry levels. Now this I do pay very close attention to because look, I want you to see what happens when we change the dryer level. You can see on here, the time's changing, all right? It's going to be an hour if I have it on very high. And if I want it on damp, it's only going to be 35 minutes. And if I want it on normal, it's going to be, here, bring it back to normal. Go back to normal, an hour and 15 minutes. Now, once the dryer finishes, if you feel like you want more time on it, you can always go back up to more. Now, the temperature, remember again, I told you, these temperature change. And you could also go over here and you could change your temperature on here as well. I keep mine at the regular medium. That's okay for me. And then the time on here. Now, this machine already has an automatic time on it, which is an hour and 15 minutes when I do the normal. But if you want to adjust that, you could just press the time over here and it will adjust it. You could also set this particular machine at these cycles here that have them manually put in there. I normally don't put mine as, put it in there, register it. Why? It will be easier for me. The reason why I don't do it is because I'm doing so many different loads. I may forget which actual load I put in there, and I don't want to put it on the cycle for the normal when it's actually bedding. And then here's where you can adjust the time, so forth. And also, this is Eco Dry. It helps with me to save costs as far as the machine not running as long, all right? So the clothes are all in there. My dryer sheets, Today I'm using Snuggle. My dryer sheets are in there. At least 3 are in there. We're going to go ahead and turn this on and get started with our dryer. All right, so now we know the tips for this laundry. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you didn't see the one I did on the washing machine, go back and check that out. My clothes are in here drying, and as soon as they're dry, I may give it maybe an hour or 2. I may run out, do some errands, and come back. But remember, we're not leaving them in there past 24 hours because we don't want to do that. We want to make sure we take our clothes out of the dryer so that they're less wrinkly and so that we can keep more of that fresh smell that we want in our clothes. Remember this tip when doing washing and laundry and drying your clothes. If the clothes can't breathe, they won't smell well. I hope y'all like that. We'll see you later. If the clothes can't breathe, they won't smell well.